Alright, so you clicked on the video because you want my thoughts on 28 Years Later. Get ready for them because there's a lot. This is a very interesting movie. It is very much a movie of two halves. And the reason I say that is because both halves are so tonally different, and the stories very slightly link up together, that it creates such a whirlwind of a movie experience that will leave you mostly disappointed, I believe. Now, granted, I was the only one of my group that was disappointed with the film, and I will get into specifics later, but overall, the story is very much a tale of two halves, where the first half is phenomenal, and the second half is extremely underwhelming, in my humble and personal opinion. I'll get into specifics later, but just to keep it vague, the first half is super tense and super well done, and then the second half you're like, what? And yeah, so it's hard to give a score, because like I said, first half, fantastic, exactly what I was expecting and wanting. Second half, what the fuck? Just simply, what the fuck? So let's move on. Cinematically speaking, this movie is gorgeous. The visuals are stunning. The visual effects are great. It's honestly a great visual experience and worth a cinematic experience. So I will give a hand grenade score here. Directing, like I said, the directing is pretty solid. The pacing, though, is completely awful and damn near dog shit, because the first half is so wonderfully paced and really well done to increase the tension and show stakes, and then the second half is the second half. We'll get into that later. I'll get into all the specifics later. But directing, I will give it's a slight hand grenade score, because the first half, it's very well directed, even though if its pacing is pretty abysmal at most moments. Acting, I think there were some good performances. My favorite was Aaron Taylor Johnson, who, once he disappeared from the movie, got really boring once again. Alfie Williams, I guess, did a good job. Jodie Comer was alright, but, yeah, you know what? I'll give a Hot Pocket score there. Expectations and experience. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is a spoiler corner. This is where I'm going to talk all the shit about the movie. If you don't care for it, goodbye. This was a Hot Pocket hand grenade movie. Simple as that. But for more details on why it's a Hot Pocket hand grenade movie, here we go. Spoilers now. You've been warned. This is a movie of two halves. The first half is a really tense, zombie apocalypse story, all about learning how to survive in a world that's lost. And it shows Aaron Taylor Johnson teaching Alfie Williams' character, who plays a son in the movie, how to survive in the world that they live in. And it's really good. It's tense. It shows off the evolution of how these zombies with the rage virus have evolved since 28 days and weeks later. And it's really intense and really cool. And then you get to the satisfying moment where they survive the night and they manage to make it back to their village in time before the alpha gets to them. And that's super tense, super cool. And then you're like, oh, okay, there's still more movie left. What's going to happen? There's a party at the end of that movie, at the end of this first half, that shows Aaron Taylor Johnson cheating on his wife, and that upsets the kid. And then the kid decides to go out into the wilderness outside of the safe zone, take his mom with him to go find out what's wrong with her, because the mom is sick the whole time and you don't know what she has. At the beginning of the movie, I actually speculated maybe she caught the rage virus and she had the immune bodies, she was fighting it but wasn't able to keep up. And so the whole second half of the movie is him, is the kid, Alfie, escorting Jodie Comer to find the doctor, who is played by Ralph Fiennes. And then, along the way, they find a Swede. Doesn't matter what he does or what his name is, because he gets damn near immediately killed to show stakes. And a zombie gives birth, which implies that they can fuck, which is weird. But what really pisses me off is that they find the doctor, and then, like, I understand, but it just really, really irked me, because it was already boring as fuck, this second half, and building up to finding the doctor and learning, like, finding stuff out about this part, that when the doctor checks up on the mom and then just goes, yeah, I think you have cancer, I'm like, fuck off. You couldn't have picked something more interesting. It just had to be goddamn fucking cancer. You couldn't have been more original. Like, I know that my original theory was a bit cliche, but even then, it was more, like, it was better for the story than just fucking cancer. Like, oh, cool. And, like, at least make it something else. Like, I was expecting Alzheimer's or dementia at one point. Some, like, advanced illness like that. Because at that point, I was, like, expecting something lame. No, fucking cancer. And that pisses me off to just, like, such an extreme extent. Because it is the one disease that he couldn't, like, the kid couldn't realistically try to fight, and then that made this whole part completely fucking pointless. And it was like, oh, yeah, I already knew. That moment also fucking pissed me off, because the mom, Jodie Comer, just goes, yeah, I thought it was. I was just hoping someone else would say it. And we're like, oh my fucking god, if only you guys would actually share this information with your goddamn kid. I could have only had the fantastic first half of this movie, but instead I had this long, drawn-out second half that was completely fucking boring and pointless. But yeah. In the end, the doctor does what the doctor does, which is apparently burn people's skin off the skulls and then make a temple bones or whatever the fuck. I think we'll find out in the next movie. I hope it's better than this one. Jesus fucking Christ, I hope it's better. But yeah. As you can see, I'm very passionate over how much I fucking hated the second half of this movie. Like, I just despised it. Just boring, lame. And there's so many unanswered questions, which I wouldn't mind if it wasn't for the fact that they were just building up this stupid-ass character death. Going like, oh yeah, there's nothing we can do. Fuck off. Just fuck off. But yeah, this is a certified Hot Pocket hand grenade movie. I literally, in good faith, cannot recommend this movie. I can recommend the first half very much. If you want to walk out the moment Aaron Taylor Johnson vanishes, go right a fucking head. Because after that, it's just so much to, yeah. Anyways, if you stuck around for this part, leave a like, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, because clearly you've already seen it. Let me know what your thoughts on 28 Years Later was, and subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I'll leave you guys to it. See you next time.